All my girls, they love it.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions.
Let's go, baby.
Jahan, what I need?
25 to Mike. Switch up, switch up.
Where's Jahan?
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard to the 34.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A quick throw there out to Williams. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
Don't get nervous.
Here's Brissett. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Dontari Poe in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's able to get this one down to about the 40.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. It got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Hauschka with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Romo. And the pressure gets to Romo as he goes down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Kaepernick going to throw. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
First down, Dolphins.
Let's go, defense. Out of time. It's out.
The first down carry here for Johnson. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
It's our time. It's our time. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Hey, Ken.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on third down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Now Romo looking deep here for Ebron. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
To the right, boy. Tight to the right. Move.
Protein spill.
Got 4
On the ground, this is Johnson. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Going up top. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Devontae Adams. His 6th touchdown of the season as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there with his 1st career NFL touchdown. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10.
Greystone travel.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's Romo now on 2nd down. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
This quarterback now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a 1st down. Now a give right side. Akers. It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
Ready?
Now it's Romo. The 20. It's caught here by Adams. 25 yards that time. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Mike, check, 59. Hey, keep it up. 59's Mike, check, 59. Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Throwing again is Romo. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Check. Hey, wahoo! Now.
On 3rd down, Wade. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. They do snap it. Now Romo under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Jordan Jenkins. And the Dolphins celebrate their goal line stand. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you. But the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is Ball security, number one. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
36, 36.
22 jet bombers, 22 jet bombers.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Romo. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target, and it's 3rd down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they've had no room to breathe. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards for the Lions there and a first down.
And the Lions.
Let's go. And Tucson.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From the 50, it's Romo. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Another Detroit Lions first down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Ready?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Romo throwing again. Screenplay, Johnson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Johnson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. Romo now to throw. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like. I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Calvin Ridley, 92 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Got it.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking deep for it. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. On second down, here's Romo. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, echo. Yep.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby.
Ready?
Here's Romo. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 81 yards. Dolphins as his guys are back within a single score.
Pardon me, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's husky. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say husky. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
Third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points, but I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Keep it up, guys.
Now a first down throw. Romo. And that'll be caught by Cup. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. After the run, now Romo going to throw. Got his man. It's Williams. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Let's go.
Now Romo. Open man right side is Cup, complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll try the left side. Akers. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Romo here on first down. The left side throw complete to Adams. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On the ready.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
Lions, first down. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Now.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Let's go. 60 outlaw.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
Topper, topper.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
Right up.
Here's Johnson. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Inside of 2 minutes remaining in a 2-point ball game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the Dolphins' 10-yard line.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Protein spill. Shoot.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. David Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are going to jump back in front.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Cousins now from the 50. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Let's go. Do you tighten up? You tighten up.
Now Cousins. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He's back to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're down by 5. They've got to go for it here on fourth down. Now Cousins on fourth down. And he finds McLaurin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for the Lions, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4-7. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.